welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name's Carmen. Today we're going to do a reading for Aquarius on what they say. Let's call in Spirit with some wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far, Aquarius. We are going to first start off with the Fairy Godmother Oracle. We'll get an understanding of what kinds of things are being said about you, and then we'll use the tarot to figure out who's saying it and what the outcome will be. Alright, what do we have for Aquarius, please? The first card out is Awakening, which I like that. So there's commentary here about you being able to learn from the pain in your situation and also be honest about what you've been through. So we have Awakening here, and then Truthfulness. I really like this. I think it's important to give props to people who are willing to be honest about the things that they're going through. And then we also have Authority here. So this is giving me vibes that we've got someone here whoever I'm reading for, this is somebody who is a leader, and there are people that look up to you. So the fact that you've gone through something that has called for you to demonstrate your leadership or your compassion for others, it's setting an example, and your honesty is emboldening others to also do that. So someone here is taking note of your influence, and it's a positive influence. So let's see. I like to see it. Good work. What do we have for Aquarius, please? Let's find out now from the Tattoo Tarot who is saying this. Obviously, with something like this, it seems like you've got a couple of people watching, so you might have a few people saying this, but you might want to hear about one person in particular. We've got Death coming out. That could be a reference to a Scorpio, but it doesn't have to be. It could be talking more so about somebody that has been through a change and somebody who walked away. So you could have been inspired by this person, Aquarius. This might be, somebody who taught you that it's important to let go of things that aren't good for you, or taught you the importance of being able to change, being able to adapt to a situation. Alright, so Aquarius, we have the King of Swords coming out and the Five of Pentacles. So this might be a situation where this masculine energy, this King of Swords, was not on the same page with you, and maybe they walked away first. They created this ending, and then when they walked away, they realized that they had this Five of Pentacles feeling. They missed you, right? They felt like they didn't really realize just how sad it was going to be, how heavy that loss was going to be for them. Then we have the Ace of Swords coming out. This is going to be about somebody who is able to use their intellect and their logic and balance that out with their intuition as well. I don't normally see the Ace of Swords this way, but with this particular deck I do, because you've got this brain exposed, and the manual or whatever the description booklet that came with this is basically saying you're able to use all of the brain matter up there, right? Like you're operating on all cylinders, so you're pulling in all the information and making the right decision. I'm being drawn for some reason to, do you see how the tips of the crown have almost like those scary long fingernails? I feel like there's somebody here who is maybe extra sensitive to sound, or somebody here who goes a little bit crazy with the fingernails. I think it's more likely the first. Just picky. Maybe picky with music taste. And then we have the Star. So this is telling me that this person's going through some healing. we've got somebody who's very focused on this other star, right? Or that is the star. But we've got somebody here who I think is inspired by you to pursue the right type of healing and basically be a better person. We're going to use the smaller tattoo tarot because it's a fun pairing. And we'll get some more clarity here. Hopefully that helped you figure out who is saying these nice things about you. But Aquarius, you're obviously doing something right, so good work for you. All right, what do we have here for Aquarius? For hidden energy, we have Six of Cups. So this is telling me this is somebody from your past, but I think that's probably already pretty obvious. If you're new to my channel, that's when our card flips over but doesn't fall out. I see that as kind of like a hidden message, or like spirit trying to say, you might not have noticed this. All right, so this person is seeing you basically get justice or redemption. I don't know that they would necessarily put it in those terms. I think this is somebody who would maybe be a little bit more likely to say something like, you know, like, if it's a feminine energy here, which I kind of sense it is, kind of like, yeah, no, she's killing it. Or like, you know, she's kicking ass, taking names, that kind of thing. But we've got Temperance and Five of Coins coming out after that. And the Temperance card is giving me additional kind of clarification on the idea of this being like justice here, right? There's an evening of the scales happening here. So I feel like at the outset there was a greater need on the feminine's part for things to go well, and maybe even a little bit like a touch of codependency. And then after this masculine energy walked away, the feminine really figured out her shit and did some soul searching, and I get the feeling like kind of fell in love with herself again, right? And wanted to put the energy that she had been putting into other people back into herself. Really proud of you for that if that's you. And then with the Five of Coins here, we've got this underneath the Five of Pentacles. So clarifying the same card, right? Because coins is pentacles in the smaller tattoo tarot. So basically we've got somebody here who has seen you do well without them, and now they're feeling like they fucked up because they didn't realize that you were capable of all of these great things. We've got the King of Coins, which is Pentacles, of course, and the Five of Wands coming out. So now I think this masculine energy, this King of Swords, is realizing that he might have a little bit more competition if he were to try to approach you. And with the Five of Wands clarifying the star, it's kind of giving me a secondary meaning here, like a secondary message. Like, remember at the outset I said with the Authority card, there's maybe some measure of like a group of people that look up to you, right? Like maybe you're a leader at a company that has a considerable number of employees, or maybe you're, you know, a well-known like author, or you have a successful band, whatever it is, there's a following that is listening and like paying witness to your awakening, and you're getting more respect for sharing your experience with these people. And as a result, I think this star is also suggesting like your star is rising, and that's why there's now, you know, like maybe a little bit more of a sense of like competition here. All right, for the outcome, we've got the Knave of Wands. I like to see this. This is the good news card, right? So this is saying the Four of Wands is absolutely redemption here. This is you getting the wishes that you had for yourself. And the Knight of Wands is clarifying temperance, which again, it clarifies or confirms that that temperance card is like a balancing of the scales, right? Because we had a situation where basically kind of like a runner and a chaser situation, where one person was really, trying to make things work, and another person maybe was a little bit resistant or not quite ready to settle down or commit. And now we've got somebody here who's focusing on other things, basically investing in herself. And this masculine energy is like, I don't know if I can convince this feminine to have a new beginning with me. So the Fool is all about taking chances, and sometimes they're, more of a risk than others, and it feels like this might be one of those times. I think this feminine energy, you've figured out that let me put it in the right order here. If people are going to be sneaky or dishonest and not stay in like a high vibe, then you're not going to include them in your social circle. So 7 of Swords is that sneaky card, and 3 of Cups is like, generally I see it as kind of like a reunion or like a celebration. It might be like a birthday party or like a wedding in some situations, but in this case I see someone saying basically, this is my social circle. It might be 3 people, it might be 2 people, it might be 10 people, but it's dependent upon whether or not I suss out that these people are being, fucking sneaky or not honest. And if so, then I fucking cut them off. Because with the Chariot here, I know that the person that I'm reading for here, Aquarius, you are willing to move forward and get the fuck out of town or cut somebody off if they're not willing to be this honest person with you, right? So, what does that mean for this guy, right? For hidden energy, we have the Knight of Cups. So we might have somebody here who's saying some things maybe that they don't fully know how to deliver on, but there's a lot of emotion here, and there's a determination to have like a conversation about feelings, right? And we do have the Emperor, so I'm hoping that means we've got somebody else here who is also bossed up. Maybe they've had some time to really like understand where they went wrong and how they need to approach things differently this time. We've got the Hierophant coming out, and I do like to see that. I think this is telling me that we've got somebody here who has changed how they look at things. Their perspective has changed. Like something at the core of how they approach their life or the choices that they make has changed as a result of you, honestly, like watching how you approach things. And it could mean specifically that we have somebody here who's willing to somebody who's willing to really do like a serious relationship here, right? They want to do right by you. All right, so we just had some interesting cards fall out. We have the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Empress. So I just heard they want this King of Swords who feels like you're not on the same page, right? Because King of Swords, Queen of Swords can often denote like people who are not really like speaking or getting along very well. So this King of Swords knows there's some trouble here. He's holding, like, clinging to this truth of his, right? That sword. But he's hoping that the you that he can have a conversation with, or, the person he can reconnect with, would be more of this Empress energy and less of the Queen of Swords, which is somebody who would be more about, like, honestly, might be a little bit more cutting with her tongue. She might be a little bit quicker to like cut someone off or, end a conversation and say, I don't have time for you, that kind of thing. Whereas the Empress is going to be more likely to embody somebody like the Queen of Cups style, right? Like kind, gentle, understanding, compassionate. That's who they're hoping that you come out as. So, all right. I hope that reading is helpful for you, Aquarius. Thank you as ever for the likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. Have a wonderful rest of your day.